Hello, Adams. Happy Thursday. The week is almost over. We are going to keep learning about Newton's laws today in science. So this is Newton's Laws of Motion Part 2. So just a review from yesterday, we talked about Newton's first law of motion, and that was that an object that's at rest will stay at rest unless acted on by another force. An object in motion will stay in motion unless acted on a force. So something's going to keep moving unless something stops it, and something's going to stay still unless something moves it. So let's talk about law number 2. So this law states that the greater the mass is weight, so the greater the weight of an object, the more force needed to accelerate that object. Accelerate means to speed up or slow down. You might have remembered this term from like a car. If you accelerate a car, you're pressing on that gas, you're making it go fast. Or you can accelerate it slower. You can slow it down, take your foot off the gas, put your foot on the brake. So basically what this is saying is if something is really, really heavy, it's going to take more force, more energy to move or slow down that object. Whereas if an object is very light, it's not going to take very much force to speed it up or slow it down. So think about if you were carrying a really, really heavy box. That's going to take a lot of your energy to pick it up and put it down. Whereas if it was something really light, like a piece of paper, you could move that and slow it down very, very easily. So that is law 2. The greater the mass, the more force needed to move it. And this is a little picture to help you understand. So if this is a 400 kilogram ball, look at how much force that poor guy's putting in trying to move it. Whereas 40 kilograms, 10 times less, he's moving that pretty easily, doesn't have to put in much effort. So this is common sense, but it was ultimately figured out by Newton as he was studying physics and gravity. So that was law number 2. Law number 3, last one. For every action, so for every force, there is an equal and opposite reaction or force. So every time there is some type of force happening, something else is happening in return. So the spaceship, as the spaceship blasts upwards towards the sky, there's also force going down from the fire here, from whatever pressure is coming out of that spaceship. Whatever action is going up, the same force is also going down. Also, think about if you were to jump out of this boat. As he moves this way, as he forces himself this way, that boat is going to force itself that way because of the force that he's creating. For every action, for every force, there's going to be another one that happens. Even if you're just holding something. So let's say I'm just holding this cup of coffee. While there is a force of me holding it, I'm using force to keep my hand up, there's also a force of the coffee cup pushing down on me. So there's always an action and a reaction. There can't just be one force. Something is always going to be opposite of it. If you're still confused, please rewatch yesterday's video, rewatch today's video, and then I also found another video that might help you a little bit more. So please use that if you need it. If you don't need it, don't use it, but I figured it would be better to be more helpful than less. Okay, let's read our questions. Number 1, what is Newton's first law of motion? Is it something will stay until the force moves it? Something will keep moving until something stops it? If you drop something, it falls on the floor, or only certain objects can roll. A couple of these do have more than one correct answer, so if you're struggling, keep that in mind. Number 2, what is mass? Find it on the slide. I defined it for you. 3, what does accelerate mean? 4, which is an example of Newton's second law? 5, the words action and reaction are another word for. And 6, which is Newton's third law? Heavier objects move faster, things move until they're stopped, objects stay on the ground, or when there is an action, there is always an opposite reaction. 7, which is an example of Newton's third law. So which one explains how this law works? And then 8, a spaceship blasting off is an example of Newton's first, second, or third law. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. We will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, Adams.